Hello everyone, my name is Peps and I welcome you to the next video on this channel. And today we will be talking about New Japan's Pro Wrestling, King of Pro Wrestling 2025 in the Sumo Hall, and especially the booking of this show. And especially we'll be talking about the main event, but also a lot of the undercard stuff. Because I'm walking out of the show, I just watched it real life and I'm just baffled. So I need to record about it and I need to talk about what the hell was going on in the show. And I would just say we don't really talk about match qualities itself. I will quickly talk about them, but especially we'll talk about the booking because we are just 3 months away from Wrestle Kingdom 20, the big Tokyo Dome show, the fastest selling Tokyo Dome event of New Japan Pro Wrestling, the fastest selling Wrestle Kingdom event of New Japan Pro Wrestling, due to the retirement of Hiroshi Tanahashi. And it feels like we have nothing set up for it outside of one match. One very specific match, but we'll come to that. I would just say we jump straight into Sari versus Yuri for the IWGP Women's Championship match. 15 minutes between those two. A very stiff match. Sometimes a bit sloppy, in my opinion. There was especially a powerbomb spot of Sari that didn't really work well, in my opinion. But otherwise, really snappy. It was just stiff. The headbutts were fantastic. In the end, Shuri won in the longest IWGP Women's title match on a non-History X Over show in New Japan. Hey, can't complain here. I thought it would maybe get 11 minutes or so, 12 minutes. But no, 50 minutes. That's a lot of time. They got the respect that they showed, that they deserve as well from the crowd and also the booking. So what can I say? What can I really say? Dude, totally happy about it. That is maybe the best booking decision they did, getting the belt off Sari so Sari can do other stuff that she clearly wants to do instead of Stardom right now. She will definitely be sooner or later back, maybe in Stardom to finish off the Saya Kamitani match, but it feels like this is, for now, the end of her Stardom run. Meanwhile, Shuri gets a big win back over Sari and puts herself into a position for big matches heading into Wrestle Kingdom season. She said in an interview that she wants to defend the belt at Wrestle Kingdom. Will that happen? I'm unsure, to be honest, because it's the women, and I think if any woman gets a big title match at Wrestle Kingdom this year, it will be Saya Kamitani. And I think that's exactly the name you should point at in terms of that, because she will sell extra tickets, and she has a dream to wrestle in the Tokyo Dome and bring Stardom to the Tokyo Dome. So that could be the next step for that. Like I said, really happy about anything there. So there's that. Then we had a 6-man tag team match between the Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors, David Finlay, Teichi Ishimori against Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, and Chitan. 8 minutes, a lot of fun, just a fun match. This match will be important later. I enjoy both of these teams, so I'm glad to see them getting some time here. Then we had a Riot in Ryogoku, no disqualification, no countout match. Drilla Maloney defeats Sanada in nearly 14 minutes. And to be honest, this was violent. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with some of the spots they were doing. Drilla needed 10 stitches or so on his head after this match because they were they were going insane in this. That being said, I don't think the match was any good, and it felt kind of weird because you are now giving Drilla this momentum, and you feel okay, he's definitely going to get set up for something, right? And you pay off this monthly, multiple month-long story with him and Sanada, and it's just going to lead to, in the short term at least, to nothing for Drilla Maloney coming out of the show, at least at the moment where I'm recording. I think he might get a shot at the TV title of El Fantasma, but I don't know. I don't think they know, to be honest with you. I think they just saw, okay, let's give Drilla Maloney a big win, and that's it. My theory is, and it comes in place with Clark Connors, of course, who made the save kind of for him against the Host of Torture with Wheelson. I think Clark Connors is going heavyweight, and they will be one of the front runners for the World Tag League, Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors it is, which will be very interesting considering who the IWGP Tag Team Champions are and everything. But That is currently my prediction, at least for that, even though the World Tag League does not matter, and I don't think they have any clue what to do there. Shocking, right? Then we had the return match of Hiroki Goto. He teams with Yoshihashi Yo against Team Decay's Hartley Jackson, Kosei Fujita, and Ryohei Oiwa. Solid enough match. Good return for Hiroki Goto. He looked kind of slim, which was kind of surprising in my opinion. But, exactly what it needed to be. Goto gets like the big reaction from the crowd, gets a big win to set up what happens later in the show. A 15-minute time limit draw between El Fantasma and Hiroshi Tanahashi for the New Japan World Television title. And now I'm starting to get mad. Not because of the match itself. I think this was totally fine. And the result is also totally fine because you don't want Tanahashi to lose right now if you want to set him up later for a challenge. But when the hell are we setting up the Wrestle Kingdom match from Hiroshi Tanahashi? And that is exactly one of my key issues with the show. We are, I said it before, we are not 3 months away. Not 3 months away from Wrestle Kingdom 20. Hiroshi Tanahashi's big retirement show. This was the last major event where so many eyes are on New Japan Pro Wrestling. So many eyes. We had 5,000 in the building. We had so many people watching from home. We had so many international eyes on it because of Konosuke Takeshita. And they just do nothing. This is one of your biggest shows of the year. You just do nothing with the guy who's retiring in 3 months. Which tells me 2 things, right? 2 possible things. First of all, they have not decided yet who Tanahashi's opponent is. Second of all, they haven't confirmed it yet because of any kind of politics, right? There aren't too many people Tanahashi could face in his retirement match. He was talking about it will be a closing moment and everything. So there aren't like too many people. And I have some theories what could happen. I've been joking about Shinsuke Nakamura as the retirement opponent of Hiroshi Tanahashi, and people were like, yeah, I don't think that happens because of WWE. Well, see, yes, that is absolutely the case. WWE will be a political problem. But, if Tanahashi wants to face him, he will face him. I don't think anyone will say otherwise. Because if you look at it, right? Well, if we just look at it, right? I don't think New Japan will say something when the press wants them. I don't think Tony Khan, who respects Tanahashi a lot, will step in and say, no, don't wrestle this WWE guy. I genuinely believe that Tony Khan doesn't like WWE, but I think he is such a smart partner and such a cool guy that he just wants Tanahashi to have the match that he wants in the end, because that is exactly what he always gives to his guys when they are either retiring or leaving the promotion or anything. So I just feel like personally that Tanahashi can choose his opponent, and if it's Nakamura, then I still feel like this would have been the perfect day to announce it, except, and this could be one of the things, Nakamura's contract is up soon and he's leaving before Wrestle Kingdom and he cannot appear. Or, and I don't think it's too unlikely, Tanahashi comes out at the WWE Sumo Hall show and challenges Shinsuke Nakamura. Or they are doing a press conference. One of those 3 options, if it's Nakamura. If it's not Nakamura, then Okada, Kenny Omega, maybe someone we don't even know, like Finn Balor or AJ Styles. I don't know. It feels weird to me personally, because the WWE guys, AJ Styles and Finn Balor, of course, try to angle themselves in a match with Tanahashi. I don't think that is not on purpose. I feel like there's a thought behind it. Maybe more from them than the WWE side, but I don't know. It's weird. I don't think Kenny Omega makes too much sense because I feel like he would have appeared already if that was the case. or at least my opinion. So, same for Kazuchika Okada, even though they already had a kind of last match when Okada left for AEW in 2024 in Osaka. This phenomenal, beautiful, emotional match they had in Osaka. So I don't know what they're doing. To me, it feels like they either have no clue or are waiting on something. But the time is ticking. The time is ticking. We only have one major show left and 2 tag leagues. So it's gotta happen sooner than later. And I hope they know it. Because while Wrestle Kingdom is selling well right now, they have the chance to do something, a phenomenal number. And they need to announce things quickly, in my opinion. For the match itself, it was okay. Fantastic retaining makes totally sense. I was not personally a fan of him being the final opponent in the Sumo Hall in such a legendary venue for Tanahashi. But if it's Tanahashi choice, go for it. Then we go on to the Never Openweight title match. Evil defeated Boltin Oleg in 12 minutes for the Never Openweight title, becomes a 4-time Never Openweight champion. The match was like typical House of Torture stuff, a lot of interferences. Boltin tried to overcome them and he just didn't and just lost. I can say the same thing about every single House of Torture match, in my opinion. I don't get it. It's the exact same match over and over again. Nothing new, nothing forever. But the big thing, what comes out of it, is Aaron Wolf stepped into the ring after a beatdown, took out the House of Torture with some cool judo throws. He looked effortless in there and it just looked cool, and challenged Evil to a singles match at the Tokyo Dome. And many of you will be like, okay, you will definitely hate this, right? You will hate this one. You don't like Evil, right? I think this is a good choice. I think this is actually a fantastic choice, to be honest. And a lot of that has to do with me just knowing how Evil operates as a wrestler. Like, we can talk about Evil not having good matches and the House of Torture stick not being good, but there's one thing we shouldn't forget. Evil cares about these young guys more than nearly all of the veterans, because he is New Japan Trueborn and he lives New Japan. New Japan runs through his heart, and he shows that every single time he steps into the ring with a young guy. He tries to make look all of them good. The amount of times he has put over young guys or feuded with the young guys and everything and just gave them big wins is insane. And that is exactly why I think he was chosen to be Wolf's first opponent, because Wolf can go in there, can just destroy the entire stable of House of Torture and just throw around Evil and co. And it will work. The crowd will eat it up completely, in my opinion. Completely. And it's exactly what you would want from it. It will not be your typical great wrestling match like you had before, but it will be a very fun match that will establish Aaron Wolf as a guy. I think he will defeat Evil. I think he will just destroy all of House of Torture, will just totally geek them, and will stand top there. And I like that. Of course, if you go from just a wrestling perspective, maybe a Zack Sabre Jr. would be better, but it's very clear to me, if you give Evil such a big role, that, in my opinion at least, that's how I interpret it, Evil definitely is involved in the training of Aaron Wolf and has been involved in the past couple of weeks. At least that's how I interpret it, and I think that is how they want to make Aaron Wolf's debut as comfortable as he can get without him being overwhelmed with everything. Because if you put him against Zack Sabre Jr., for example, and I love Zack, I think Zack is a tremendous wrestler, Zack might end up being too overwhelming for Aaron Wolf, because nobody knows how Aaron Wolf is going to perform. And you should, as New Japan, make it for as easy as you can get, especially if you actually believe he's the top star that others aren't, and if he's coming in with all this big hype from outside, from a mainstream perspective. So I think that is like a very good choice. the sad part about all of this is the role of Bolton Oleg. I feel like they instantly shoved him into a specific section on the card by just saying, yeah, you are this cool muscular dude with the amateur wrestling background, but now we have a judoka gold medalist, so you're just second in command. And they might make a storyline out of that, but I feel like you could have done this in a way without fucking over Bolton. In my opinion, like for me, what I would have done is exact same match. Well, if you are doing this match, exact same match, but Aaron Wolf interferes mid-match, just throws the Roundhouse Torture, then Bolton defeats Evil, walks out as the champion, and Evil and Aaron Wolf stand face to face and they challenge each other to the singles match. Instead of taking the belt off Bolton for absolutely no reason, because I don't think Evil versus Aaron Wolf would have needed the belt, in my opinion. Then we go on to the top 3 matches. We have the Knockout Brothers, Asuka and Yuta Ice, defending successfully the IWGP Tag Team Championships against Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura in around 50 minutes. And this was the best booked New Japan match for me on this day. We have nothing to complain about because this was just straight up great tag team wrestling between 4 guys that deserve a lot in the future. Asuka and Yuta Ice in 2 tag title matches have made these tag belts so relevant as they haven't been since God knows how long. I need really scroll back to find a place where they were as relevant as they were there. And I think I would land at the Dangerous Tekkers matches against Sanada and Naito in 2021. Where they had these big semi-final or third from the top matches in the big venues. In the Tokyo Dome, I believe it was. I think they were even like in a semi-main event on the Shingo vs. Tanahashi show, even though it was a fake Tokyo Dome, but you get my point. And they made these belts a top 3 Tokyo Dome, top 3 Sumo Hall belt by just being so good. And the match delivered totally, just non-stop action. The interaction between Yuto and Yuya, they didn't leave anything on the table. They just continued what they did in their fantastic match at Hurricane Hall. The right winners as well. The Knockout Brothers are getting established as the top team to beat in the division, and I think that is just exactly what you want from the show. Moving forward, I think the Knockout Brothers will likely defend against a random team, and then they will have the Tag League winners coming up at Wrestle Kingdom. I can say 2,500 names who could possibly win the tag team belts, the tag team league. It's just so far away in terms of like how to interpret it, because I don't even have a lineup. I don't even know who teams up with, so it's just impossible. I think for Umino and Yuya, they will likely have a singles match with each other at the Tokyo Dome, and I like that direction. Personally, I would keep them together as a team. You can have, in my opinion, the singles match and still have them together as a team instead of one of them turning, which would be my worry, actually, because I never would bet against one of them turning, especially after the Narita vs. Shida Umino storyline in 2023. I believe that was really silly. Man, I don't know what they were thinking at some point. No, it doesn't matter. So that is the direction for them at Wrestle Kingdom, I would say. But, we have seen nothing of that. Maybe they just won the World Tag League and are back in title direction, which I wouldn't be against. Then we go on to the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship match. Yota Tsuji defeats Gabe Kidd in 24 minutes to win back the IWGP Global title from Gabe Kidd. And I don't know if people definitely saw it on Twitter. I did not like the Dominion match between those two. I think it was actually very boring and just not entertaining at all. And I wasn't hyped for this match for this exact reason, because I feel like Gabe Kidd has been very weird ever since the entire Death Rider stuff have happened. And Tsuji kind of cooled off as well. And if we remember their fantastic February match, I thought both of them, especially Gabe, but also Tsuji, are so far away from that right now that I'm unsure, momentum-wise, if they can capture that momentum again in this match. I was expecting a really solid to good wrestling match like they had at Dominion, and I was wrong. This was tremendous. I thought this was fantastic. They, in the last 10 minutes of this match, with the fantastic near falls around the pile driver, and then this incredible finish as the callback to the February match that Yota Tsuji taps out Gabe Kidd with the Boston Crab, with the young line move on the line mark. Chef kiss. Tremendously built up match, tremendously finished match. Everything they did in this match was just great. I loved it. I'm shocked to say this. I think this is the third best Gabe Kidd match I've seen this year. I think this is one of the best Yota Tsuji matches I've seen that year. Incredible. And this is exactly why this Dominion match kind of left me disappointed, because they know what these two have in each, what they do these two have. And this is exactly that. Incredible chemistry, incredible in-ring storytelling, and the incredible finish on top just made this match for me great. Legitimately great. Yota Tsuji then, of course, wins the belt, which I'm kind of, I don't know, not a fan of, but also kind of need to see where this is going. Because I just feel like, in my opinion at least, that Tsuji is way above this global belt. But on the other side, that is better than him doing nothing. He's just spinning the wheels for now, and okay, we have seen that with Naito. But we need to see where this is leading to Wrestle Kingdom, because we will come to that soon. For Gabe on the other side, I don't think I need to say it out or need to say anything else. He is, in my opinion, gone after January. I don't think he's re-signing for another year. Maybe on a dual contract, but well, what can I say? I feel like he's so done, and I can't even blame him, right? Because why wouldn't you take the major deal that America offers you when you're getting the chance? Especially as such a young fella. He's still 28 years old. He came from pretty much nothing, He has told his story, so there's that. Well, that being said, after the match, we had the unaffiliated unit, former LIJ and Bullet Club War Dogs merging together to a new, seemingly faction or a team. I'm unsure. They have yet to be said what they are called. Maybe they are under the Bullet Club War Dogs label. Maybe they are just going on the unaffiliated. Who really knows? But this is one hell of a stacked lineup. You have Clark Connors, David Fennec, Taiji Ishimori, Gallo, Julia Maloney, and of course Asuka, Yuto Ice, and Gabe Kidd. Then together now with Yota Tsuji, Titan, Shingo Takagi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Daiki Nagai. What a lineup this is. What a huge faction this is. And I have no clue how to feel about it. I have no clue what the direction is for any of them for Wrestle Kingdom. For Yota Tsuji, I can guess, but the rest, it feels like, okay, Finlay versus Gabe made totally sense to run. Well, they are now full strength. So, I don't know. I thought Shingo Takagi is going to challenge for the number weight belt, but that is now off the table as well. You have Yuta Ice and Asuka, of course, with tag belts. They have a clear direction. Yota Tsuji as well with the global belt, even though you don't know if he has a challenger or if he's challenging the world title. Hiromu has the Noah belt, the Noah Junior title. So he has also no clear direction for Wrestle Kingdom, and he's wrestling in a junior tag league with Ghetto of all people. Julia Maloney has this big win over Sonata, has no direction for the upcoming weeks. I'm very much interested in how this alliance is going to work out. I think one of the teams could easily just win a tag league, and you're doing a Knockout Brothers versus, I don't know, maybe Finlay and Shingo or something. for the for the tag belts, that could work. Like a fun interfaction, not interpromotional, interfaction match or something like that. You can do that. Maybe they still turn on Gabe Kidd, or you still run Finlay versus Gabe. I don't know. We will see what comes up there, but it's definitely confusing, in my opinion, like everything. Then we go on to the main event. Konosuke Takeshita wins the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match against Zack Sabre Jr. and is the 14th IWGP World Heavyweight Champion after using his G1 Climax shot here. And when we come to the booking, I need to say this match was tremendous. 31 minutes, all of them were just incredible. And there's one thing we should never forget. We can talk about his drawing ability. We can talk about his booking. We can talk about if he's the right guy to lead a promotion or not. But Zack Sabre Jr. is a fantastic pro wrestler. Funny enough, I noticed while talking that the exact same thing also fits to Konosuke Takeshita. These two went in there and tore the house down. Incredible match. One of the best New Japan matches of all year. One of the best IWGP World title matches of the entire lineage of this specific belt. Incredible, incredible, incredible match. They deserve all the applause they were getting online as well as the venue. That being said, we need to talk about this booking here. Konosuke Takeshita is the new IWGP World Champion, and I expected that to happen, to be honest, when he won the G1 Climax. And in isolation, I personally believe this is not K-move. Because you have now a guy who is one of the best wrestlers in the world on top of the promotion. A guy whose dream it was to wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Who was not accepted into the dojo when he was like 10 years old, to be fair. And then he went to DDT, became a top star, went to AEW, became a champion there, and now is the top champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The question now is, was this the right choice or not? I think we should just need to look at the attendance, and it's 5,372, nearly down 900 fans compared to last year between Naito and Zack Sabre Jr. Maybe we'll say, yeah, it was Naito last year. It's Takeshita this year. Yeah, but it's not an excuse in my opinion, because the fans, everyone knew this is Takeshita's crowning moment. Everyone who came to the venue knew this is Takeshita's crowning moment. People came to see Takeshita win the world title, or should have been, in theory. Because if we go back to February, where there was a show in Osaka that drew let me look up, 5,502 fans, more fans than here, that was sold by everyone knowing that Hiroki Goto is going to win the IWGP World Championship from Zack Sabre Jr. I just feel tough to say, yeah, it's definitely just on Zack. No, a lot of this is also on Takeshita, in my opinion. And I don't think it's on Takeshita as a wrestler, because Takeshita as a wrestler is fantastic, but it's on Takeshita, how he's booked, how he's presented, and who he's trying to portray. And that is a big issue of this entire storyline. Zack, in my opinion, is not a draw at all. We don't need to discuss that. I think he tanks a lot of the attendance and everything. And I wouldn't have gone with him in the Tokyo Dome as well. But I'm unsure if Takeshita is a better choice, to be honest. And I feel like this intent just shows to me that he's not the guy they should have gone with. And I think this is totally a New Japan fault here. And the match itself also shows, in my opinion, that for the entire last 8 weeks, ever since he won the G1 Climax, he was talking about, I want to unify the wrestling, the wrestling ring and everything. I want to bring together the wrestling fans. I'm New Japan, I'm AEW, I'm DDT, I'm all three of them. We go into Sumo Hall. Takeshita works babyface all the time in his promos. Has this babyface ace-like documentary where he was presented with his wife, Yuka Sakazaki, and everything. And I'm looking at this, right? And I'm like, okay, he's going to work babyface as well. And he's just a dick in this match. And it's the right choice. It's the right choice, but it's just so confusing to me why they're finally deciding, okay, let's go all in on that. Dickish, after trying to portray him as a babyface for like weeks, months, and I'm just questioning that. To me, and I said it before, to me it feels like this is the exact proof that New Japan was scared about today. They saw how they booed Shota Umino last year. They were scared as hell that the company looks foolish here if they try to portray Takeshita as a babyface and the crowd randomly decides to boo him. They were scared as hell that the crowd is going to boo Takeshita. And they were scared as hell at G1 Climax that the crowd is booing Takeshita. And that is a massive red flag in my opinion and just not defendable. This booking is horrible. It's horrible, terrible, and it makes no sense at all. He went from being this new generation sucks to, oh yeah, I want to unite the wrestling world, to, yeah, this New Japan, this New Japan new generation sucks. What are we doing here? This is exactly why New Japan is in the state they are right now. They have creatively no idea what they do. And it pisses me off because in the end, it doesn't matter. Like, whoever books, doesn't matter because they are not getting the blame for it in the end. It's the talents. Like, they are just pretty much playing with the fire right now with Takeshita because they have someone there that is tremendous, that has the aura, that has the in-ring work, that has a promo skill to carry a company, and it just totally failed him. They totally failed everyone before him as well. It's baffling. After that, we had Hiroki Goto challenging Konosuke Takeshita for the World Heavyweight Championship. It was said to be not at Wrestle Kingdom. I think it will be in Gifu. Which is like, you know, okay. Feels weird to me. But why? It seems like, I don't know, they want to get this just out of the way, sell a good number in Gifu together with Yodatsuji with Tanahashi. And they go to Wrestle Kingdom likely with Tanahashi's final retirement match, Evil versus Every Wolf. And then, in my opinion, Takeshita versus Yodatsuji, a double title match. And I would be totally fine if Takeshita just drops the belt to Yodatsuji as Wrestle Kingdom. But there's one thing that I'm looking at. It makes me question if he's losing the title anytime soon. And that is that New Japan announced New Beginning in New Jersey on February 27, 2026. The New Beginning show normally is in Osaka. Osaka is currently closed, the Idiot Arena, due to renovations. Instead, they are seemingly running it in New Jersey, an 8K seater. The first name promoted for the show, Konosuke Takeshita. And when we see what Tsuji has said about New Japan and USA before, I don't think it's unlikely that Takeshita just wins at Wrestle Kingdom against whoever he faces, walks into New Jersey, wins there as well, and doesn't drop it for Dominion. That is the world we are living in. I think they are full on behind pushing Konosuke Takeshita as the top star. Do I like it? I don't know. We will see. The numbers need to be correct after Wrestle Kingdom. I've always said it. The big show before, King of Pro Wrestling, and the big show after, which was normally New Beginning, whatever show it is in Japan. Maybe they are doing a Japan show as well in New Beginning. Who knows? Those are the two numbers to see where New Japan is. We have now seen with 5,300 fans where New Japan is right now in a pretty bad state. We have now Wrestle Kingdom where so many people are seeing a lot of these young guys for the first time, and this needs to be a show where it hits, and then we will see, or should start seeing the effect of it at the first big show in Japan after it. That should be whatever they will build into. But, who knows? This is kind of weird, It's kind of weird to me, everything they're doing. But that is New Japan Pro Wrestling 2025, right? We have one match set up for Wrestle Kingdom in 3 months. One match. No other angles. The other stuff is just, we're just doing stuff, no? Right? Somehow we will end up at Wrestle Kingdom and get a good number because Tanahashi will save us. We will see what the return match of Tanahashi will be. We will see what the IWGP World Heavyweight title match will be sooner than later. With that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and comment down below. I know my tweet was kind of a bit too much, but sometimes you need to bait a few people. I rarely do that, but hope you all enjoyed this. Bye-bye.